Previously on Jack of All Talks.
Like it is just this beautiful journey, and you get to produce this human, and you just get to watch it flourish, and you just get to be blessed by this gift that God has given you. Nobody tells you the traumatics that go into. You will never sleep again. You will never have any real money again. You will never get to eat your own food again. You have to deal with teachers, and they gonna outgrow their clothes every 3 weeks. And it's like nobody tells you that, like, it's like life altering, that you now have to think of someone else's every being before you can think of yourself. Like, it's traumatizing.
These are facts.
And nobody, they don't tell you that. They don't tell you, they don't give you the full picture.
These are facts. I do not recommend. So stay on your path, Marcus. I do not recommend.
It's the ghetto. Parenting is the ghetto. Parenting is the ghetto. And if you have escaped it so far,
remain on that road. Whatever road you own.
Not parenting is the ghetto.
Because this parenting road.
Parenting is the hood. Get up out of it. Don't go.
No. Even
parenting is like living in Richmond.
Even as they get older.
That is parenting.
As they get older, because they're still in your pockets.
It never stops.
They're still in your pockets. They still want to eat your food. They still, all of it. Even as they get older. Even when they're 18, 19, and they're supposed to be adults and mind their own self business. No, they still being your shit. They still want you. They still want your money. They still want your food. I to this day still can't go to Wendy's. Okay, Wendy's, without a nigga saying, "Hey, where mine? Can I get a fry?" Okay. Let me tell you something. It's ghetto. It's Richmond. It's North Richmond. Don't do it.
Richmond.
Stay on whatever road.
Not North Richmond.
Stay whatever road you on.
Yeah,
don't do it.
Not Cat and Bull. No. Hello, and we are back. Thank you for turning into Jacks of All Talks. I'm here with my favorite sister because somebody got demoted today because of their antics. Here with my favorite sister, my favorite big sister, Sarita. Kiana is on academic probation until further notice for irresponsible actions while unsupervised. I've been able to drink for a whole day, and she made sure that I got straight to that shit. So yeah, okay. So as far as the topic, because you were like, "What are we talking about today?" I needed everybody here because the topic was going to be like a piggyback off of what we talked about before, because there were a lot of questions that came up from our previous podcast and interactions. So I shouldn't say I needed, but
Right.
But because Kiana is currently indisposed and probably won't be functioning again until sometime Monday.
Right.
And Melissa, she decided to get experimental while she was out of range.
Right.
But no, so I don't really know. So a couple of things came up. I have a list of things that came up that we were supposed to talk about as a group, as a unit.
Okay.
I can't hear you again.
Okay. What the heck?
Can you hear me now?
Again.
What the heck?
Can you hear me now?
My mic off again. What is going on?
I don't know. Like I hear
Today is just not my day.
Like I hear me.
All right, hold on. Headphone speaker. All right, there we go. Everything just seems to be going to test my patience and my gangster today. All right, I'm with it. We can get into it. So the first thing that came up was everybody was like, "Oh, what's the backstory between how you know these people?"
You mean us?
And us. Like us as me, you, and Kiana. They were like, what's the backstory with these women? Oh. I was like, well, as far as the Melissa answer was easy because I was like, I just met Melissa. Ain't no backstory.
That's better. We all did except for Kiana.
I got introduced Melissa that day. So that was into that backstory right then and there. as far as Sarita, who was my favorite sister in here, I shouldn't say my evil twin because I'm way worse than she is.
Very true.
But so if anybody knows me, and for you guys that do not know me, I've always been a bad influence. Like, yeah, I'm that friend that's like, I think you can get away with it. And not only do I think you can get away with it, let me help. So, but I got that from Sarita. So, fun fact, Sarita taught me to drive drunk when I was 19. And I'm going to let you guys figure that all out now because obviously I wasn't even old enough to drink, let alone be driving drunk. But Sarita coached me through how not to get a DUI at 19 while driving. So I don't want to hear that I'm a bad influence anymore because I had a badder influence. So there was that. Kiana has always been the more rational mother figure, except for today. So she has lost all title and hold to that.
Yeah.
Because she's can't even defend herself, and I don't even care. Can't defend herself about these accusations, and I don't care today. Because she was always the mom of the group. She made sure that we were being responsible because we were not.
At all.
At all. We were never responsible. We already told you, we lost her while we were drunk. So
in the same house.
Yeah, exactly. We lost her 30 feet away from us. So yeah, I don't know. No, I'm not going to take accountability for that. But so that was one thing. Honestly, I'm not even gonna lie. I don't remember meeting you guys. I just know I know far more life with you than without you. So right. I can't even put like a time to it. Because I don't remember how we met. I just know that you've always been there.
Right. I don't know either. I know
exactly,
and it's just been us.
It's been a blur after that. Like after that, it was like, oh, that's the line that I always used to reference y'all, and this was crazy. Was that your best friends are the siblings that God never gave you or forgot to give you, and that's always kind of how it worked out with you and Kiana. And of course, Colin's not here because he's taking care of his kids, but that ain't my fault either. Being a responsible adult, no time for that shit. So that was that. The other part was, well, we talked about it briefly. We can jump into this real quick. It was a dry January and February, and why I was doing it because nobody knew why I was doing it. And Kiana isn't going to find out now again because she ain't here.
Right, so, she's fucking up again.
She's fucking up again, so she's still not going to know. And we'll talk about this at a later date again.
Yeah.
So, dry January was because I was trying to do dry January. And then that led into February, and I was getting my vasectomy, and I couldn't drink. And so now I can officially drink as of, actually, technically, they said tomorrow, but fuck it. I've had a long day already, and I'm going to start drinking today. But yeah.
I still want to put this out here.
So it was supposed to be 10 days. It was supposed to be 10 days. What? Say what you got to say.
Listen. I get and I understand. But I still don't appreciate the fact that I'm not finna get no niece and nephew. But I'm going to let that go. It's too late now any damn way.
I mean, if you make sure. No, I mean, for all we know, it's not because I have to go back and get checked in 2 months. And in 2 months, anything can happen in the next 2 months, I guess. But I have to go get rechecked because I still have stuff in my system. And they don't confirm it until 60 days after your surgery. So we'll find out. So at the end of that, I still could be able to do it. I'm not going to, but it's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen.
This is true.
And to piggyback on that, I want you guys to know they don't give a damn about you as a dude in the hospital. Like when y'all have things, y'all get to sit around and be knocked out, and they care about y'all. Let me explain this process to anybody listening that don't know what a vasectomy is. You walk into a room, a nurse goes, "Take your drawers off, lay on this table." Oh, you're gonna feel a poke. Mm-hmm. When this process is over. It's literally a 15-minute outpatient procedure. Mm-hmm. They don't put you to sleep, and they talk about you like they're not finna stab you in the most sensitive part of your goddamn body.
Yeah.
Like they literally, like it was literally like, all right, cool, just lay down. Oh, you're gonna feel like a bee sting. A bee sting? Bullshit.
It's not a bee sting.
I ain't never seen a bee sting me with nothing this goddamn big.
Okay, well,
And then it's not even like no, because it's not even like a quick like you a nurse, you know these things, you draw blood, but it's not like they be like, huh, and then you pull it back out. It's like, So, what do you think the Warriors are going to do this weekend? Really, Raider fan? And just sitting there talking to you like this is normal.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Then they take it out and they go, all right, cool, let's get to work. And all you feel is a scraping. You don't feel a cut, you just feel a scrape. Then all of a sudden your stomach is like, why is all this pressure on my stomach? Oh, because they've got a fucking clamp. And they still talking to you like, how you feeling? Breathe.
Mm-hmm.
No, not breathe, nigga. I literally have my insides hanging out and I'm awake.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And after all of that, after they do that to you twice,
mm-hmm.
they basically go, all right, cool, high five, get out of here.
Yeah. Well,
here's a bag of ice.
Epidural needles, them suckers ain't small. Like I had this in my back when I gave birth to your nephew. Okay.
Hey, that was a personal decision, fam. We tried to talk you out of it several times.
By that time, it was too late. I was here. 9 months in. Like, he got to come out. He can't stay.
Well, we spent a year. I mean, in our defense, we spent a year trying to talk you into not ever being in that situation.
Touche.
We just lost.
Touche.
Which brings me to my next topic, because we are talking about my nephew and your niece or nephew that never was. So I also referenced the only lesson I learned once in why I had a vasectomy in our last conversation. And I was like, people asked about this. And because it's me and you, we can have this conversation because it was me and you in this conversation.
Right.
Isn't that lovely? So what happened was at the wonderful age of 18, God, what the fuck was I thinking? At the wonderful age of 18, I got my then girlfriend pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
I did not want to be a dad. I still don't want to be a dad. Well, I don't want to be my dad. Like, I don't want to have to, like, I don't want kids. I've never wanted kids. That's the whole another reason I have a vasectomy. I do not want kids. I love being an uncle because I get to do bad stuff and then drop them back off.
Right.
There's nothing greater than giving, Asia hyphy juice and then dropping her off at TT's house. It's
not okay.
Hey.
As a parent, it's not okay.
Not a parent, I'm an uncle. I can do this type of shit.
Not okay.
Don't let her fall asleep, boy. But one way she gonna stay up. It's been a long day. Because when I walked in the house, they were like, "Oh, can you watch her for a couple hours?" I've been at work. I've been working all night. Now you need me to watch somebody who's just waking up and she got energy and all she know. Oh, Uncle Marcus here. It's time to play.
Yeah.
Uncle Marcus just worked 10 hours. And
I don't care.
I ain't got no relief. I don't got no relief till like 1. So I have to stay awake and watch you.
Mm-hmm.
So, no, yeah. And then, about 15 minutes before it was time for her to go, she was like, oh, I'm sleepy. Mm-mm. Oh, no. Nah,
don't let her fall asleep. They can't fall asleep.
No, you can't fall asleep. So I had to let her have a little Ivy juice, send her on the way. But I digress. See, that's uncle. Like you said, it's wrong for a parent. I'm indemnified as an uncle. I'm allowed to do these type of things.
Yeah.
So yes, I did get that girl pregnant. Good Lord. So anyway, but while I was dealing with this internal struggle of getting this person pregnant and not having a legitimate full-time job and all the other fun stuff that comes with processing being a dad, Sarita was also secretly pregnant, which led to us sitting outside of the infamous Chabot taco truck, having a heart-to-heart conversation one fateful
Right.
Faithful afternoon.
Right. So
Dude,
it's like, everybody.
you know,
down.
with the exception of what, yeah. You sitting there looking depressed, and Ramsey talking about looking at us, talking about, man, what y'all going through? A lot. We're going through a lot, bro.
Like, we all got to grow up real quick because this one here.
Yeah, exactly. We all got to make a bunch of life decisions fast.
Yeah. Because
I never told you. So aside from the fact, I think only people I told when this was happening was like you, and eventually we all had to come clean with Kiana because she cussed us out.
Right.
So I think, the only people I told when it was actually happening was you and Kiana. I didn't tell anybody else. I didn't tell Colin, which is a rarity because I told Colin everything at that point in my life, and still kind of do.
I thought he knew.
Oh no, nobody knew. I don't think honestly, I don't know if I ever told him directly that I got her pregnant.
Oh.
And that was 20 years ago at this point.
Yeah.
I don't think, this is like the first time I've told the story publicly. But,
okay.
So, yeah. So, I remember it was a Monday because we had to go to choir rehearsal, told Kiana back at the church, and she tried to leave us.
Yep. Yep.
So, yep. I didn't tell you how that situation came to an end, did I?
No. We just knew that.
So, after it never came to fruition. So, after she took like 25 pregnancy tests, because we went to the CVS at the edge of Point Richmond where she worked and bought all of them just to make sure, because one test wasn't going to work. I need. Yeah. So yeah, she like when I tell you she took 20 plus tests, because I was like, this can't be right. So she took all of them shits and they all came back positive. And then all the fun stuff started to happen. She started to get sick. Boobs grew out of control fast. Like, she jumped 2 sizes quick. I was like, we ain't gonna be able to keep this a secret too much longer.
It didn't happen like that.
We ain't gonna be hiding this too much longer. We're like, we got to come clean. And so I think, were we like a week or 2 from coming clean? Because she was coming up on 3 months. And she had a miscarriage in home economics at school. Yeah. Yep.
Oh, clutch my pearls.
Yeah. She was sitting in class with her best friend, and she was like, oh, my stomach doesn't feel right. And just all of a sudden, she said it felt like somebody tried to stab all the way through her. She said she felt it in her front and in her back, and it hit her like that, came out of nowhere. And she was like, oh, maybe it's my period finally coming, because obviously she ain't had it in a while at this point.
Right.
Nope. Ended up went home because she was like, her stomach hurt, and got up to do something, and it was not a good look. And ended up going to the doctor real fast, and they told her, and they were like, she knew what it was, but she didn't come clean. They were just like, oh, yeah, you're just a really heavy, but it was bad.
Baby. Oh.
Yeah, it was a whole ass human. It just, and she called, this is where the story goes left. I was at work. I was at work trying to secure my spot because I was on a temporary job. This is the best part. I had a temporary job with my mom, and I was trying to figure out how to tell her. I had a tip job. Under my mom. She had hired me to work for her. And I was like, how do I turn this into a permanent job without telling her that I need this to be a permanent job?
Forgot about that.
So got to work early that day because I was supposed to come after school. Left class 15 minutes early to make sure I could be. Left Chabot early. Didn't work out, or cut my workout short. Made sure I was at work on time because I was like, I need to start kissing up and doing better, doing a whole lot better. Because I need this to carry over at least 3 more months so I can figure something out. Yeah. Was in there working. Didn't even bother to go. It wasn't caring. Well, didn't have a cell phone and wasn't even looking at the phone. Didn't log online, look for shoes, clothes, nothing else. I was. What you need moved? All right, cool. Let me plug that up over there. Okay, no problem. Ray needs some help? I'll go help out Ray. Everybody needed me that day. I was right there. I was like, nope, can't do it. Stellar employee. She called my mom. She called my mom's cell phone and my mom didn't answer. And then she called my mom's work cell phone, didn't answer. So she calls my mom's cell phone 3 more times. My mom comes out to the hall and she was like, I don't know what's going on, but Brittany needs to talk to you. What's her name? Shit. She ain't gonna see this. She was like, she needs to talk to you. I was like, what the hell? I'm like, what the fuck going on? She knows I'm at work. I was like, I'm intentionally not talking to you. I pick up the phone and I'm like, hello? And she's in tears, just bawling. I can hear her mom in the background talking about, it's not, are you, why is it so bad? And she's trying not to tell her mom and she telling me and boo-hooing. And I'm sitting on the other end of the phone going, he may not come when you want him, but he'll be there right on time.
I didn't want to have it this way, but whatever like, your will is, Jesus.
Man. So it was just like, she, as she was telling this, I felt bad for her because you could tell she was hurting and she really felt like she had like let me down. No, not at all. No, not in the slightest. Not in the slightest, ma'am. You did not do anything to hurt my feelings at all. So, yeah, we had that conversation. And I hung up the phone, handed the phone to my mom. I was like, I'm going to take a quick break. I'll be right back. Walked outside that building. I had never been happier in my life. I don't think, like, it's so bad to say, like, and I had to deal with that I have not in my lifetime been happier. Like, nothing compares. I was like, because I had no clue what the fuck I was going to do next. No fucking clue. Like that. 18, no real job. I didn't have a fucking cell phone. That's how bad my life was going at that point in time. I didn't have a fucking cell phone. I didn't have a car. I didn't have a my job was going to end in like a month and a half. I didn't have shit but a child on the way. And I was like, oh no. I was like, and now I sit back and look at it. I was like, and it had been with her? Oh, no.
She wouldn't have made it.
I'd have been, she wouldn't have made it. Well, yeah, because I damn sure would have killed her. I ain't gonna lie. If it came down to once my kid was involved, yeah, you definitely would have died.
Yeah, she would.
Some of the other stuff, and
yeah, and it was gonna be like my potential niece or nephew. Oh,
yeah.
Girl.
So yeah, I was kind of crack up anytime we talk about like Cash's birthday because I'm like, woo, he should have a partner.
Right.
He should have a legit partner in crime right now.
It should be 2 of them. One of them, they both at Morehouse, or one is at Morehouse, one is at really.
Exactly. They should be ride or dies because they were going to be born a week apart at best.
Yep.
Oh man. So yeah, the only lesson I had to learn once in life.
Yeah.
Because that was a range of wild ass emotions, and I promise you, when I stopped and thought about it, I don't think you know this. I got arrested in that same period of time. I spent a weekend in jail.
I'm sorry, excuse me, say what?
So while this was going on, it was also spring break. Yeah. So Colin was like, yo, we're going to get everybody together and we're going to go camping. And I was like, all right, bet. I'm with that. Camping don't cost no money because I ain't got no money no way. And I got to figure out what's going on with this kid and I need to clear my head. So we go camping, and we go camping in Half Moon Bay, on the beach on Half Moon Bay.
Okay.
So we get there, and from jump, the people that are renting out the campsites don't like us. Like, off top, they like, we don't like y'all kids. Like, I don't know if they were particularly racist, but they saw a group of kids, and they were like, we don't want it. And we were up there deep. It was at least 8 cars, and some of them were big, like the big trucks, because our cousin came and he brought his partners. So it was a lot of us taking up a bunch of campsites. And yeah, so while we were doing all this and having a good time, before the sun could even fall, we weren't even there a full day. while we're getting ready for this, the little local cops show up or whatever, and they're walking through the sites, not paying them any attention. Don't care. I'm not doing anything. We ain't even broke out the alcohol that we ain't supposed to have yet. So, like, it's like everybody is cooking and eating and chilling. It's only, I think it's got to be like 5 o'clock, so the sun ain't set yet, and we good. The motherfuckers doubled back. I had a souvenir baseball bat from a Giants game, like a legit, like, baby souvenir baseball bat. That was it. Like one of the super small ones that you go to the A's game and get right now for like $8. I had one of those, and my shoes had got wet, so like I was kind of holding it like next to the fire trying to dry out my Jordans. And the cop walks over and he goes, "Hey, can we talk to you about?" And he snatches the bat off my lap like it's a firearm. I'm confused. And they were like, "Oh, can you step over here and talk to us?" Go over here, talk to them. They were like, "Have a seat." I was like, "Why would I sit in the wet grass?" They were like, "Oh, nah, we need you to have a seat." So I take a knee or whatever. I'm like, whatever. My name, all this other stuff. "Oh, we're going to run your name." Okay, run it. Ain't nothing to look under. You can't, I don't have a file. Never been in trouble. They were like, "All right, cool. Do us a favor, put your hands behind your back." I'm like, "What?" I was like, "For what?" He was like, "Oh, you have a homemade weapon." First of all, this bat says Giants on it. It's trademarked. It's not taped. It's not spray painted. This is the actual bat out of the souvenir store. Like, we give away bat day. Like, that type of bat. Ain't nothing about this bat changed. They were like, "Yeah, that's a homemade weapon. That's a felony." Da, da, da. I used to know the penal code still. Thankfully, I forgot it at this point. But they were like, "Yeah, come on, go ahead and put your hands behind your back." And locked him up. And while this is happening, nobody can really see me because they've taken me like off to the side. So like, I'm only in vantage point of like 2-3 people. And they walk back out and everybody just goes, "Oh, what the fuck?" And mind you, it ain't but like, it's only like 3, like I'm the only black person, but like there's only like 3 people with pigment in their skin out of this massive party. So immediately Colin is like, "Nah, the fuck that. You're not taking my brother to jail." So he yelling and screaming at the cop. This is where white privilege is fun, because he grabbed an axe that we had with us and charged the cop and was like, "I got a weapon too." And they were like, "Sir, calm down."
I'm sorry.
Sir, calm down. We need you to clear out the campsite. I can tell this shit and laugh now, but that shit was not fun in the moment.
Listen. Okay.
So yeah, they drug my ass off to this brand new is it Redwood City? Yeah, brand new Redwood City fucking county prison where it's a one-stop shop. They process you on the first floor. They process you on the first floor. Your orientation pod is on the 3rd floor, and the jail is on 4, 7, 8, 9, and 10.
Hell no.
So you don't even leave the building.
They're like, "You ain't got to transport you nowhere, sir. Just take the elevator up."
Nah. Yeah, you don't leave for shit. So I'm in there and I get thrown into a holding cell at like maybe 7 o'clock at this point. Meanwhile, the other funny part about the story is, this is how you know it was some bullshit. The cop that arrested me was calling his pot, talking about, "Yeah, I got one," and is like reading out the penal code, like, "Yeah, finally." I'm like, really? So in the midst of also, like, this is what took my mind off of everything, because I was thinking about how I was going to be a dad. Now I'm thinking about me going to fucking jail.
Right. Now I've got a whole different problem.
Now I have to figure out how I'm not getting molested. Cool. How I'm not getting passed around for fucking honey buns.
Right.
Well, life has changed. Okay. So they've kicked everybody off the campsite, but I don't know that these fools have lost their fucking mind and they've called everybody's parents. And they're like, "This is some bullshit. They only did it because he was black." Factually speaking, yes. Because this is the other part. So the dude throws me in the holding cell, but he doesn't file any of the paperwork for me to be there. So, like, he never turns in anything. He just puts me in a holding cell and leaves.
Okay.
So I got processed at like 7, and I've been in a holding cell. And then, oddly enough, one of the cats that was there that I knew, his dad was a sheriff in the same county. He calls his dad and goes, "Yo, they just arrested my friend Marcus because he's black." And his dad was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like,
Right.
to the point where his dad like logged in or like clocked in early to be like, yo, I need the particulars for all of this shit because this don't make no sense.
Right.
And they were like, oh yeah, there aren't any particulars. We just know he's here. He was, what do you mean there's no particulars? He was like, nothing. There's no trials for. They didn't file any charges. There's nothing. It just says he's here. And so he's like, fuck that. Process him. But this is the only way he can get me out.
Right. Because
they have to process me. He can't just come get me.
Right.
See, he was like, how long has he been in the holding cell? 3 hours. So like 11 o'clock, they come knock on the window. More. Come on. Take me. I go get fingerprinted. They tell me what I get charged with. And once again, felony possession of a homemade weapon. Ladies, like, your bail's $50,000. It's not a homemade weapon. It's none of that. But here's the part. Because he didn't turn anything in, there's nothing to see. So the bat's not there. There's no paperwork. There's no statement. All he has is my statement saying, I have it. And if something runs in my tit, I intend to hit it. That's all he has. But I am now being fingerprinted, told what's going on, and they were like, all right, cool. That's 11. At like 2 a.m, intercom kicks on, and they read off some more names, and they're like, everybody's going upstairs to the orientation pod. I'm like, well, this is getting better. So now you go up to the orientation pod and they have you sit down, and he's like, all right, cool. He was like, I'm sure, I'm Sergeant Whoop-de-Whoop. He was like, we're going to get along and get along. He was like, hey, as long as you guys listen, we're going to treat you fair. We're going to do you right. Lock it up. Go into my holding cell, go into my orientation cell now. And it was the same dude I was downstairs with that they got processed hours before me from Kelly Hill, of all places. I was the weirdest shit ever. To get, how did we manage to be in the fucking same cell? Like, same holding cell, then same orientation cell. I'm like, God damn. So they were like, all right. I was in there for a while, a couple hours after that. I'd say a couple hours after that, because I wasn't sleeping. I was just in there.
Right.
A couple hours after that, little speaker in the room goes off. More. Interview or visitor, whatever. I was like, all right. I didn't even have shoes. They gave me some big ass flip flops because they don't have enough size 13s.
It's not a normal size.
So I didn't even have shoes. I had orange flip flops. And was just like, fuck, all right, go downstairs, and it's my partner's dad. And he goes, are you all right? I was like, I think that's a trick question right now.
Right.
He goes, yeah. He goes, this is some bullshit. And he asked me all the same questions, and he goes, so you literally weren't doing anything. I was like, sir. I was like, when I tell you it was a souvenir bat from Bat Day, I didn't do anything to it. He was like, no tape. I was like, no tape. He was like, did you add weights to it? No weights. He was like, well, did you stick nails in it? I was like, why would I stick nails in this motherfucker? I have my Jordans on. And yep, all of that. He goes, I can't even. He was like, there's no pictures of it. There's no record of it. He didn't turn it in. I was like, okay.
For itself.
Yeah, Kevin. I don't know where it went. Truthfully, I have no idea where it went. I'm sure he probably did give it to his son after that, or his nephew, whatever. I don't know. But yeah, shit just. So I stayed there for a couple more hours. He was like, I can't get you out right now. He was like, it's the middle of the day on a Saturday. Was it Saturday or some shit like that? So I literally was going to be there until Monday because nobody was getting processed. The only reason they even processed me by myself downstairs was to get me out of the fucking holding cell that he was going to leave me in for the next 48 hours. But yeah. And yeah, he was like, all right. He was like, I'm going to make some more calls, do what I got to do. But he was like, it's not going to be quick. All right. Go back upstairs. Go back to my cell. I was in there till 2 o'clock. And then they were finally like, no, it was 11 o'clock. I remember this part. It was 11 o'clock. I didn't get home till 2. 11 o'clock, they were like, more, being released. You got to tell me twice.
Right. Shut up, cop. You ain't tell me that.
Yep. I ain't got it. But it was so fucked up because I think at like 3 a.m, they turn on all the speakers and they start reading off the names of the people that got to go to actual jail. Like,
Why so
and you could just hear the
early?
bass. I have no idea. But you could hear like all of the bass come out of motherfucker's voice when they find out they going orientation part is done. You're going to general pop. There was more than a few cats that were like, yeah. All right. Just all the bass out their voice, like, General Pop? No.
Aww.
Yep. Go on now. Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was happening while I was dealing with the pregnant stuff. I forgot about that. Those two things did coincide. So maybe, I don't remember. I mean, I was praying hard. So maybe in one of those prayers, I asked for it to go away. Not directly, but it probably came up.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so then I came home and had to deal with her and the pregnancy stuff. And yeah, so literally at the 3-month mark, like to the actual 3-month mark where ain't no other way out of this at this point. Even if she decided to eat cold feet, this is going.
Right. I was going to say, you in.
You're in. So right at the 3-month mark. And yep.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah. So yeah, no. And I was so happy. And it was bad because I really was happy.
I mean, it's a toss up. Like, you was happy, but it was a lesson learned also, and you learned from that lesson.
Was it ever? Was it ever? So. Dude, I don't think I've had another pregnancy scare since then.
That's good.
Like, that was it. That was it. When I tell you the only lesson I learned once, I beat the fuck out of that shit. One time.
Yeah, some of them lessons be like that. Like, oh, okay. You ain't got to worry about me. You ain't got to worry about me.
Nah, bruh. I get your word. I believe you. I believe that be greasy. No, that was the only shit I ever learned one time. I was like, I won't be doing this again.
Right.
I ain't gonna be able to do this. Never no more.
Yeah.
I was man. I don't even want to tell that story. But I was at a girl's house one time, and the condom broke on the last stroke, and I went home.
Like, gotta go.
I was like, we can do all we got the whole day. No, we don't.
I got to go.
My mind ain't even in this no more.
Right. Fuck my body, my mind. I can't do it.
My mentally, I can't ever do this shit again.
Right.
So now I'm done. Thank you. Yeah. And that's the vasectomy, because I'm like, you know what? Let's just stop playing.
I get it. I mean, I get it.
Plus, it's like, I mean, I'm at that point where I'm like, I don't even think I would want kids at this point, because I'm like, I'm old now. Like, I don't need chasing behind you no more.
I mean,
like, now I won't say I'm old currently. Like, right now, I'm not saying I'm old. But by the time, like, that kid starts to get to, like, you think about, like, if I had a kid right now and all of a sudden it's Cash's age, I'm damn near 60. With a fresh teenager.
True. But
yeah, with the
black don't crack, so you ain't gonna.
I'm not saying I'm not 60. What. Yeah, all right. You ain't gonna look or feel 60 till I gotta fight somebody.
I mean, you know, like most people tell me I still don't look 40, and I appreciate it.
Well, no, you don't. But that ain't the point. You can not look 40, but your ass can move like 40.
Listen, because these knees ain't making it like they used to be. Let me tell you. These knees don't get it like that. You got about 1, 2, maybe.
I told you, yeah. No, it don't.
3 good drops in me. 3, drop it like it's hot. After that, we with the 2-step. With that good.
Don't back shit up on me right now. I promise you, don't. Nah, these knees are made for one thing and one thing only, and it is not.
Yeah, I can't.
I mean, so I'm not gonna say that because, like, it's not like I feel bad. Like, I still, I was so mad. We'll get into the whole vasectomy thing in a second, but I can't. Like, I cannot imagine like not being able to like chase after, I mean, and kids is gonna test you. Not even so much my kids,
Oh yeah.
my kid, but everybody else's kid. There's an 8-year-old I want to fight right now at my niece's school. I don't like it. You got one more time to look at her like that when she walk in the class. Meet you outside, partner.
Cold part about it is once you become a parent, like wanting to fight a kid over your kid does not go away.
I bet I'm already there.
Mine is going to be 20. Who? Where? 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 I will catch a flight and I will knock the boy in the knees. Where?
So what I'm saying, I can't be doing that shit at 55 and 58. Ain't gonna work. I'm telling you, that little boy got one more time to walk past her like he want to hold her hand, and it's gonna be a fucking problem.
Yeah, he might like her.
I don't give a fuck. It's gonna be a problem.
He might want to hold her hand, help her to her class.
Nigga, hold your mama. Nigga, hold your mama hand.
Not hold your mama. Damn.
Stay away from my niece.
She has to grow up, right?
Oh, I'm aware. There's a reason I can't look at Asia's pictures like that.
I'm just saying. They gotta right. They gotta get older.
I got two of them. Asia and her Keek both are like the exact. I think they are a couple months apart, maybe. And I.
Yeah, they gotta get older. They gotta grow up. They gotta grow. Listen, I feel the same way. I'll be like, oh, here we go. I know you gotta grow up, and I know you out there, and I know all these things, but no.
But like, it makes it worse. Yeah, in a minute.
It'll be 20.
It ain't gonna be too long now. It's about 7 months away.
Like, to know that I have a 20-year-old is wild to me.
Mm-hmm.
Still.
And to know I could almost have a 20-year-old.
Right.
Wild to me.
Right.
I think about that every time. Like, ooh, yeah. Nah, man.
I kept another human alive for 20 years.
You did. And you think about all the times it was touch and go keeping you alive.
Man. Okay.
Man.
I didn't have a 20-year-old.
You got a little bit of time. Not
time for what?
Before he's 20.
Oh, I was like, because I was finna say, I'm not popping out nothing new.
Oh, you talking about me, but now now all of a sudden you out the game.
I did my part. He running around the world. His ass is in Atlanta doing something he probably ain't got no business right now. But
I mean, I would hope he went to class first.
He better. Shit, he better finish his homework, test, whatever. But yeah, me pop out new ones.
Yeah, you got to. I'm not encouraging it. But this is also part of why I got it, because like as we age, as women age in general, like it gets harder. Or that shouldn't get it gets harder, but it takes more of a toll on them. It takes more of a toll on the kid. And it's just like reading about the side effects that go through y'all during birth control. I was like, you know what? It's probably safer for me to just do this. However, I want to call bullshit on all of this because that shit was not fun.
No one said it was going to be fun.
It's not.
But
it's not fun at all.
It is.
They don't give a fuck about you.
It's less on us. It is. It's completely less on us when it comes. When you really think about it. It's far less on
y'all. But even when it comes to getting your guys' tubes tied, like that's a legit surgery.
Yeah.
And that's just so for me it was 4 incisions and 2 big ass needles and about 2 days of pain. That's it.
Yeah.
Which wasn't all that much fun. And the cold part was like, I don't know. I think I have this thing with lidocaine. It doesn't last long on me. So by the time I got to the parking lot, I was already like, oh, this is a bad idea.
Like it's wore off. What happened?
It was like real talk. Like I was getting off the elevator and was like, what the fuck is that? I'm like, oh hell no. They leave something. They couldn't leave nothing. They only needed 4 fucking tools. What the fuck?
Yeah.
That shit, that car, man, it hit me on the car ride home, and I wasn't but 2 exits away, and I was like, this is not good. And you don't know what this feels like, but the only way I can describe it to you is like, it's just like, if it was just that time of the month for you, and it was just like, we just gonna do this nonstop for the next hour. Like, it ain't gonna be like no quick grab. This is gonna be steady pain. Steady, I can't even say the word right now.
That's what we
just
do.
Steady. Yeah, steady abdominal pain. Shit was not fun, bro.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's not
I couldn't
fun.
walk. I couldn't walk. Oh, actually, I couldn't walk, but walking was a chore. Because it just feels, you don't know what it feels like, but it's basically for guys, it just feels like you got kicked in the nuts, and they just gonna keep kicking you in the nuts until tomorrow. And they don't give you shit. And all you can take is Tylenol and ice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's an opioid epidemic. They don't too much prescribe them no more unless it's important. And
no, they were, yeah. Well, they said that they were like, no, they were like, it's an anti-inflammatory situation, and we need you to heal and not bleed out.
That too.
Well, then you should have kept me instead of being like, there's your ice pack. Have a great day.
Well,
See you
no.
in 2
If
months.
you follow the instructions, you can go home. We don't need to keep you. We need this room for somebody else. Well,
if you follow the instructions, what happens if I don't follow the instructions? What happens if all of a sudden I remember that weed is an anti-inflammatory and I can't have it either?
That's on you. We told you what to do. You didn't listen. That's not our problem. We did our part. You signed off on all of this, saying you were gonna follow instructions and you were okay with all of this. You didn't do your part. We did our part.
Yeah. No, it was So yes, I don't recommend. 10 out of 10 don't recommend. Well, I take that back. I recommend it. It's not bad. I take that back. I don't recommend what happens to you next, because that shit sucks. The recovery part sucks. That shit is horrible.
As a woman who has had a child, as a woman who don't want no more kids, as a woman who knows how birth control affects the woman's body, as a woman who knows and who has been in rooms when people are getting IUDs, getting them removed, getting them inserted. Right. All of those things. Tubes tied. Seen it. Nope. I recommend for all the women.
Yeah,
have that conversation with your dude.
Yeah. No, I mean, this is from like, that's what I'm saying. Like part of the logic and reasoning going into it was it's just so much safer, in a relationship or whatever.
Right.
Because it just takes all of the guesswork out of it. So it just that heal up for the next 2 months where they give like, oh yeah, you're good to go, or we got to go back in there and fix something.
Right.
So yeah, I don't want to do it again if it can be avoided. So
I'm pretty sure you'll be all right.
So that is how. Well, long story short, and that's also how I ended up not drinking for 2 months.
Me, on the other hand, I've been drinking.
Yeah. Oh, congratulations.
As you see, it's empty.
God damn.
It's been a long couple of, I've been drinking.
Yeah. No. Oh, no. Trust me. Especially like over this. You know what it was? It messed me up because I really thought I was going to be able to get back to taking care of myself like after it was over. And then they were like, oh, no, you got to wait 10 more days. Nah, that is today, brother. That 9th day, I mean, it's day 9, so I don't think it's going to be a problem. But yeah, the 10 days before, like you can't drink or else it can cause problems. And then 10 more days after that, I wasn't prepared. I damn near ran somebody off the road yesterday. I'm not ready. I can't. Nah.
But you had already not been drinking since January, so. But
it was. I had to stop a lot of things though. It wasn't just the drinking. So it was like I stopped drinking. Then I also couldn't have any THC. I couldn't have weed. So like I had stopped taking that. I was doing a little bit of caffeine just so I could go to the gym in the morning, but I had to stop doing caffeine.
Oh, that's
on the run up because all of that they was like, well. Because there's so much blood running through that part of you. And for the healing process, they were like, we recommend you stop.